Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is still the 29th of May and I have a little bit of news for you today regarding Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Surprising, no one ever, Sledgehammer Games have revealed that they created the world and plot of the shooter with a sequel in mind, and they also touched on the topic of how the setting of 2054 differs from the 2025 era, which was of course the setting of Black Ops 2. Now, when they were speaking with Game Informer, Sledgehammer co-founder Michael Condrey said, quote, "I think Call of Duty resonates because it's believable and relatable, and it's always been one of the strengths of the franchise. Some of the things we found through research of what's going on in the military today and around the world was more fantastic than even the things we were coming up with, and so I think that time period and that ability to keep it rooted means that our fans, ourselves, it's not that fictional leap to science fiction world that you can't relate to. Science fiction icons we stayed away from," and this comes from the co-founder Glenn Schofield, and then he said, quote, "So you won't see the traditional mech, even though that may happen, people automatically go sci-fi, so we're kind of trying to stay away from that." Now, when he was speaking on the topic of the similarity to Black Ops 2's future setting, Glenn said, quote, "We do talk with Mark Lamia, who's the Treyarch studio head, and his designers and artists as much as possible, and that's so we don't duplicate things. But I think we realised after the first 6 months or so, when we had this huge amount of information and we had sort of a vision, that if we just kind of followed that and we used Sledgehammer's style, that we will be different. It's almost like two artists create a landscape, and one's going to be so much different than the other. I think there's going to be differences between the two and there's enough difference between the two that they can both exist." Now, speaking on the topic of the longevity and sequel of Advanced Warfare, Glenn concluded saying, quote, "There has been some thinking of not ruining the story or everything or the world so you can't have another game. We're keeping it in a place where another game can exist." So there you have it, a little bit of interesting information regarding why you won't ever see full-on sci-fi, despite the slightly fantasy elements, like say the exosuit and things like that in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. They will never go full-blown sci-fi for the reasons they've just discussed. Now, the sequel thing, that's probably not going to be news to anyone really. That's pretty much to be expected. After spending however much creating an engine, creating a world, blah blah blah, it makes perfect sense to be able to use it more than once. I don't think we can begrudge them that, but there wasn't really too much of a reveal. But I thought you guys may want to know that if you do enjoy the futuristic setting of Advanced Warfare, then you will be happy to know that we will be seeing it return in some form in the future. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.